So, I am at a store called Time Warp Toys and Collectibles. This is probably like the best action figure store, kind of where like I'm around on Long Island in New York. So if you live around this area, I highly recommend checking out this store. They have a lot of old stuff, new stuff, and just lots of awesome stuff. So hopefully they'll let me record in there. I believe they had before. I can't remember, but the owners should be cool with it. I'll tell them that I'll promote the store and everything, so I'm sure they'll be cool with it. So let's go inside and see what the they got that's gonna be bleeped. So what is going on, everybody? Daredevil TMNT here, and we are inside Time Warp Toys. This is probably like one of my favorite action figure stores. Just look at all the Neca Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles they have sitting here, from 2-packs to 4-packs. They have the cartoon versions, movie versions, all types of versions. And there is more that we'll get to a little bit later, but you can see they pretty much have almost every 2-pack of the cartoon series, the 4-packs of all the Turtles, the Foot Soldiers. They just have a lot of Neca TMNT stuff. Then they had some other stuff over here. You can see like Godzilla stuff. Then look over here, the Turtle Blimp. I used to have that as a kid. But they have so much older stuff, like when I was a kid, to new stuff, like the Neca Predators stuff here and the Ninja Turtle stuff. But you can see they pretty much have all the latest Predators. They have Alpha Predator. They had Assassin Predator. I think they had both versions. And they had this thermal version of the Jungle Hunter Predator. They just had so many Neca toys stuff, not just Predator and Ninja Turtles. They had the aliens, the horror stuff. I think I missed showing off their horror stuff, the Neca horror stuff in the video here. But yeah, they pretty much had every Neca toys, alien, and Predator figures you can think of. They even had individual ones bagged up, like used ones that you could buy as well, which we'll get into shortly. There's the Predator 2 City Hunter, but you could see all the alien stuff here. Everything's all boxed up and priced up and everything, so you could see how much stuff is going to cost you. There's the bagged up used items, aliens and Predators. So this store, what I really like about them, you don't only just buy stuff, but if you have stuff you want to sell, you could either get cash or store credit for it, which is awesome. But you can see they have all pretty much like the Predator 2 stuff. There's the Kenner Tribute Predator, some older stuff as well. There's the Battle Damage City Hunter, Broken Tusk, I think that was. There's Snake in the front right there. So an Emissary Predator, Fugitive Predator. So they pretty much had everything from used to new. But yeah, lots of awesome stuff here. They had so much, it's like, I don't know what to buy. There's some stuff on the top over here. We have some random stuff. Not too sure what this stuff is. I'm sure some people know. There's some Neca Gargoyles figures. They have Jack Skellington above them, a statue, I believe. I think that was a Mezco Michael Myers from Halloween. Up here we have the Chucky doll, and I think that's Annabelle. Creepy. Then over here there's more stuff. We have the Elton John setup from Neca. Then over here, old school stuff, like the old Ghostbusters figures. Look at these. I used to have a ton of these. I think those are Micro Machines. Not sure what these are bagged up right here. They might be Ghostbusters or something else. Down here, we have Street Sharks. I remember I had all of these figures. All the Street Sharks, the bad guys. We have more Ghostbusters, like the vehicles and stuff. So, like I said, they don't just have new stuff. They have a lot of older stuff as well. You can even see back up over here in these displays. Bunch of old Godzilla figures right here, and probably mixed with newer stuff as well, because they mix a lot of the old with the new. You're able to tell when you're in there. A bunch of Transformers going on right here. More stuff at the top, a big Godzilla, more Transformers. One of the Kickstarter Spawn figures. Over here we have Transformers. Not sure, I'm not big with Transformers. I don't know what's new and what's old. I mean, I could tell the newer stuff, but this is everything that's pretty much used. But you can see they price tag everything, so it's easy to see how much something is going to cost you. Here's some more Transformers as well for you Autobots and Decepticon fans. Yeah, they had a lot. I was literally in the store for a half hour just recording all this. Here's all their comic books, and then more. Then they had a ton of Toy Biz Lord of the Rings figures, and I was kind of like, should I buy one? I'm like, no, don't do it. But yeah, you can see all the little orange price tags and everything. But they are just loaded with so much stuff. Not sure what these are here in the display, but over here we have a the old school Neca Wolf Predator, and then a Hot Toys Predator. Some more stuff over here. Wolfman, Planet of the Apes up here. I believe those are Hot Toys. I could be incorrect though. There might be mixed up there too. Then over here, we have more like horror stuff like Predators, Aliens, Gremlins, a Crow bottle. Over here we have NECA Predator stuff, some more loose ones. Same with the Aliens as well, so pretty damn awesome. They had every Dutch figure. I really wanted to get the one with the mud on them, but I didn't want to spend that much. Then we have some RoboCop stuff here, I believe from NECA Toys. I'll show those right now, actually. Along with Terminator, Alien, and Predator once again, and then House of a Thousand Corpses. Then there's the Elder Predator from Alien vs. Predator. I didn't realize how much he went up in price. More Predators from old to new. Oh, I completely missed that one Predator. I forgot his name. But I did want to get that one, Ghost Predator. Then they had the older ones before they switched up the articulation to how good they are now. Over here, Headless Horseman, I believe, was there. We have Shaft. We have It, Pennywise the Clown. These are the old Movie Maniacs McFarlane Toys stuff here. They had Terminator. Up here, we have Jason. Just a ton of stuff. Just look at all of it. I mean, it's all like mixed, you know? So we have NECA Gremlins stuff, another Predator in the back there, some Monsters stuff, some horror movie stuff with oh god, I forgot his name from Scream. Then we had the American Psycho Christian Bale character. That's a cool bust of whatever creature that is. There's a Dutch, again, the muddy one, but packaged, but it is used as well. Over here is a bunch of Power Rangers from old to new. We have the Morphers, and we have the older figures. We have an SH Figure Arts Red Ranger back there. We have their Blaster in the back, some smaller figures, 6-inch scale. They had the freaking Megazords and everything, Funko Pops. They have a ton of Funko Pops in here for anyone who collects those. More stuff, just more Zords and everything, looking pretty freaking badass. Then we have some old school stuff down here. Might be mixed in with new stuff, not entirely sure, but it looks more older, like 90s style Power Rangers figures here. But just so many awesome Power Ranger stuff. And then we have like vehicles down here, old school Batman stuff going on, all the different Batmobiles, and a couple older Batman figures in the back there as well. So yeah, lots of awesomeness, if you know what I mean. And then over here we have more Power Rangers, from the newer Hasbro stuff to the old school stuff here. So there's the older stuff. What is that, a putty? The stupid sound they made. Then we have the newer Hasbro stuff here. They had a lot of like Yellow Rangers. I guess she's not that popular. But yeah, is that a Zeo Ranger? I stopped watching Power Rangers after Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, so I don't know all the different versions of them. But yeah, they are definitely loaded. There's some old school stuff here. Look at that. That is definitely 90s. Same with this one and this one here, the pig guy. But yeah, there's some newer stuff here. They had a couple of the Ninja. There's some Ninja Turtles. We'll get to those in a second. So you can see there's some bagged up in Ziplocs that are used. And then we have the Ninja Pink Ranger and Blue Ranger. Interesting. And then there's an old school one behind there. And then over here, these are pretty much all like Yellow Rangers. Like I said, they had a lot of them. And random, the Mummy figures. These things actually look pretty cool. Like this one, that's a pretty cool looking figure. I didn't even realize they made the Mummy figures from that movie series. Over here we have some Harry Potter figures, which I believe is McFarlane Toys. Then we had some Walking Dead stuff here. I'm trying to look for like a comic version, Rick Grimes, but all they had was pretty much this one right there. I was trying to look behind to see if they had more, but they did not. They had the comic Abraham, then they had the like first Rick Grimes from the TV series, Tyrese, Michonne, Tyrese. Then over here, we had the comic Abraham, Rick Grimes, Maggie. I was tempted to get Maggie, and then Andrea. They had too many Andreas, because there's another one. And then a Walker, and then Tyrese again, and then Andrea again. A lot of Tyreses and Andreas. Then we had Coral, and then another Maggie. Then we had the zombie Merle, the governor, zombie, the governor again. And yeah, last time they had the whole rack was Walking Dead figures, but that was a couple, like 2 years ago. a Richard Pryor figure. I believe this is Neca Toys here. We had the Elf, Will Ferrell character, and then we have Ace Ventura there, Christmas Story, Chevy Chase character. We had a huge Predator there, Pennywise. I'm not sure what who makes these, but they had a bunch of like the bigger stuff as well. We have RoboCop. I believe that's Neca Toys. This thing's pretty damn cool looking. A John Wick from Diamond Select, Chucky with a crazy alternate head sculpt. Then they had a bunch of the NECA Back to the Future stuff. I'm not going to dig through everything because, like I said, it took me a half hour to go through the whole store. Then we have Ezekiel with the tiger from the comic, Freddy Krueger, Beetlejuice, E.T. stuff here, more Chucky stuff. They had a lot of horror stuff. So if you're a horror fan of collecting that type of figures, they had tons of them. Over on this side, some old school Star Trek stuff, I believe. Then over here, we had some like older, either NECA or McFarlane, NECA or McFarlane toy stuff mixed in with like newer stuff as well. Was tempted to get Gojira. And then over here we have, who is that? Jimi Hendrix? Down here we have the Diamond Select, the Crow, some Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, the Boys stuff over there. Some more horror stuff, like older stuff. Buffy the Vampire TV series figures with Angel as well. And then some old school stuff going on here. More Chucky stuff. And then bigger stuff on the top there. Oh yeah, and then over here I saw some Rocky figures. I know these are very hard to come by. I was seeing if they had the actual Rocky. They had Apollo. Rocky's, I forgot the guy. Get him, Rocky! That guy, he was there. And then like some announcer guy. And then here's some old McFarlane toy stuff. Blair Witch, Army of Darkness, stuff like that. And they did have more in the back, which we will see. And another Richard Pryor, but we will see those a little later. So let's continue on here and see what else they have. Alright, so now we're moving on to G.I. Joe and Ninja Turtles. So they had the newer Hasbro 6-inch scale stuff. Then they had the 3 3/4 inch figures as well. Some vehicles also. But they were definitely loaded with G.I. Joe stuff, from the old stuff to the newer stuff. And then over here we have some Ninja Turtle stuff, old and new. So we have the 2003 series figures. I was trying to see if they had all the Turtles, even though they're getting reissued. They had this stupid guy. They had April with some Mousers. And they did have Mikey. I should have bought that Mikey, but oh well. And then they had a Foot Soldier, I believe. And Casey Jones here as well. Then they had the 2007 movie figure, but they only had that creature. So you could see. And then over here we have the Mirage Comics NECA figures. And spoilers, I'm gonna buy that Fugitoid. Then over here we have the Playmates, more like adult collectibles that they were trying to make. And they had pretty much every Ninja Turtle from the cartoon series. As you can see, they had Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael. I'm not sure if they had Leonardo, though. Then we have Rocksteady over here, and then we had some Donatellos and stuff. So we pretty much had every turtle from the Playmates, more adult collectible line. Then we had some Super 7 stuff with some more NECA stuff as well. I believe there's a Best Action figure up there also. There's the cartoon version of a Foot Soldier from NECA, which is pretty dope. And then over here, I should have bought this April, the movie version from the 1990 movie. I should have bought this. I'll probably go back and get it at some point because I definitely need to get her in my collection. Then we have Mondo Gecko from Super 7, Bebop from Super 7 as well. There's the Best Action Raphael, I believe it is. And then down here we have Mondo Gecko from NECA Toys. Was tempted to get this one as well, but I'm waiting for a new version they're going to be releasing, so I held off on getting Mondo Gecko for now, because there's a new version coming out where he looks more updated from like a more current comic version, I believe. Yeah, that's pretty much most of the TMNT stuff. They had her, I forgot her name as well from the Mirage Comics, but I'll grab that Fugitoid instead of the other one. Then they had the video game version of Leatherback. I forgot who was behind him, but they're really decent price too. Then they had a bunch of the Playmates stuff. These are like the old school reissues. Then they had some of the Mayhem stuff as well. There's Krang. I think that was Leonardo behind him. And we had a Mouser pack from the 2012 Nickelodeon series. Donatello, Michelangelo, Leonardo, and Leonardo again. And that's pretty much it for this little area, which was one of my favorites. Here's some more Power Ranger stuff. So you can see like the 2-packs, older stuff as well. And then over here we had the, I believe this is the HasLab Galactus. There's all the Marvel Legends. We'll get to those shortly. Some cars for you car collectors. But just look at everything they have. See what I mean? They are just stocked up with figures, man. Then they had these things here. I believe that's NECA Toys that makes those little horror movie figures. But look at all the comic books they have. So it's not just figures. They do have a ton of comic books, a random Tyrannosaurus Rex. Then over here we had a mixture of like 12-inch figures from old school stuff and then newer stuff. You can see Falcon over there, the old school X-Men characters. I think that was She-Hulk up there. There's Rogue, some plushies. Over here we have like anime statues. So we have a bunch of like Dragon Ball stuff here, as you could see. And then that's Halo. Oh no, Gears of War and Halo, possibly. I'm not a big video game guy. Then over here we had a Saitama. I believe that's McFarlane Toys. Random Jurassic Park vehicles. Then we had some Demon Slayer statues. I did want to get Akaza and Obanai, but I didn't. And we had Kid as well from One Piece. They did have a Figure Arts Perfect Cell, and then they had the Bulma bike. And then we have a bunch of like Jurassic Park dinosaurs. I think it's a mixture of like old and new stuff. And then we have vehicles as well. And then let's see what's next. So they are loaded with wrestling figures. If you're a wrestling figure collector, they have WWE, AEW. They have a ton of stuff. And I believe they had a lot of the old WCW stuff as well. I just didn't get to look at all of them because the owner was helping a customer around this area, so I couldn't record every wrestling figure they had. Over here, they have something that I've been talking about in my History of Action figure videos, the Irwin Toys Dragon Ball figures. But right here, we have the Dragon Stars, Android 18, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, and Super Saiyan Vegeta. Then here is the Irwin Toys. We have Vegeta, Mr. Satan, Super Saiyan Gohan, and then we have another Super Saiyan Vegeta. We have Krillin, Saiyaman, Kid Trunks and Goten, Bulma, and then who's the last one? Super Saiyan Trunks. So these are figures I've been talking about in my History of Action Figures videos. Then they had the even older ones, Goku, Trunks, Vegito, then little minifigures as well. They even had more GT stuff, but I overlooked them. Then over here we have more anime type stuff. So here's like more statues of anime like Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia. We have the old Irwin Toys stuff of Dragon Ball figures, some little teeny figures. We have a Tanjiro statue. But yeah, man, they had a decent amount of anime stuff. My Little Pony stuff, and then some Pokemon stuff as well. And then they have an ultimate, what was that, Gohan figure there? The Bandai Ultimate Collection. That was like one of the first Dragon Ball lines. Then over here, we have a ton of Star Wars stuff. They were loaded with old and new stuff, bunch of the prequel stuff. Then I believe they have like repackaging of like the original trilogy figures from when the prequels came out. But yeah, you could see they have all the old 3 3/4 inch figures. I hate this scale. So glad Black Series came around. NSH Figure Arts makes 6-inch scale Star Wars figures as well. Same with Mayfax. But yeah, you could see they pretty much, it's like they had every single character because you could just see all the different figures behind the ones in the front. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to dig through everything because I would be in the store for like 5 hours. So sorry. Over here we have like the 12-inch figures mixed with a bunch of like Star Wars vehicles. I believe this is like prequel stuff, and then some of it's like original trilogy as well. And then over here we have more like vehicles and stuff like that, as you could see here. They're just loaded. If you love retro figures, a little bit older figures or newer figures, this is a store you definitely need to check out. Alright, so over here we have more of like newer figures, 3 3/4 inch mixed in with the 6-inch Black Series figures. Then we have that exclusive General Grievous, and then the Christmas version of a Wookiee, or if that was Chewbacca. Yeah, so they definitely had a bunch of Star Wars stuff. So if you're a Star Wars fan, you need to come over here. Then over here, more Star Wars. I think the old McFarlane stuff. We'll get into that shortly. Here's some more vehicles or ships from Star Wars. More Black Series. And they had more of the 3 3/4 inch figures as well. Like, geez, how many do you need? Then I forgot what line this was, but they had a bunch of these as well. So now I think I'm going to move us over to the Black Series 6-inch scale stuff because they had a ton of them. Like I said, I'm not digging through everything, but that Shock Trooper, I believe that is, looks dope. I'm going to dig through a couple of them. A Stormtrooper, a Droid. Then we had her from the Obi-Wan series. I keep forgetting her damn name. Then we had another Stormtrooper type character. Then we have Miggs Mayfield again. I keep seeing him. I think I need to buy him soon. Another Stormtrooper. But yeah, they had a lot. This I'm very tempted to get because I just love the design of this Shock Trooper. I believe we just looked at him before. Down here we have even more. So we have another droid, characters from the old movies, newer movies, more troopers. They were loaded with characters. So if you want to stock up on your Star Wars collection, definitely buy some figures from here. And then we have Obi-Wan, and we have Princess Leia, another stormtrooper, another droid right there, which I do have. Then over here we have this guy from a video game. This I'm so tempted to get. I always see it, so I feel like at some point I'm gonna end up buying it. Another stormtrooper. Then we have this droid. This I almost ended up buying because I just like having these types of droids like R2. He is, what is his name? It is R5P8. I'm probably gonna go back there and eventually get it because it was only 15 bucks. I mean, might as well, man. 15 bucks for a cool little droid. I feel like these sell for way more on like Amazon and eBay. Way overpriced online, but not here. Then we have like individual bagged used items here. So you want to just get a couple used figures, you can. They're a lot cheaper as well. And then you can just see all the Black Series stuff they got. So definitely more than enough. And then over here, I believe it was mixed with like Masters of the Universe with Star Wars stuff. As you can see, there's a lot more Masters of the Universe stuff. More Star Wars stuff going on here in the display shelves, as you can see. And then over here we have a bunch of Hot Wheels toys, cars. So if you like collecting these, they have them as well. We have some lightsabers going on here, some more Star Wars stuff. There'll be some more Black Series, like there's an R2-D2 right there. I know that's a pretty pricey figure. Good thing they're making a newer or updated version of them. Individual bagged items, more packaged items as well, used items, bagged items. So you have so many different options of what you want to buy. Then we have Chopper there, not Tony Chopper, Chopper from Star Wars. You can't really see who a lot of the characters were, but they had like the original Darth Maul and Obi-Wan up there and stuff. Then here's the old McFarlane Toys, like horror movie figures or movie maniacs packaged ones. And then they did have like the old school Spawn stuff as well. I think I need to come here and sell some of the loose random figures that I have in my collection because I could probably get a nice like store credit to buy something else. Then over here, here's some Star Trek stuff for you Star Trek fans. Mostly older stuff because I don't really think they make too many newer Star Trek figures at the time currently. Over here is the Masters of the Universe stuff. Like, just look at all the figures they got. But you can see they had a ton of Masters of the Universe stuff. I don't really collect this line, but I know there's a lot of collectors who do. But they're definitely loaded with like He-Man Masters of the Universe stuff. So if you're a collector of that line, like I said, this store is a good spot to definitely go to. Then over here we had Fat Bastard. Then we had the McFarlane Toys like Mortal Kombat 11 stuff here. And then they had like Kiss figures on the bottom. I think McFarlane Toys made those, if I'm not mistaken. They had a bunch of like Commando spawns, some other random Mortal Kombat characters, Cabal, Liu Kang, and they had some other random spawns here. They even had like the Mezco Mortal Kombat stuff, which is kind of older figures. Then they had a bunch of these Simpsons figures. I know a lot of people collect those. Was that Ren and Stimpy? What the hell? But yeah, you could see all like the Simpsons figures. They had a lot of them, some old DC stuff right there, but they are loaded with Simpsons figures as well. And then I don't know what that was on the top, but here's some like DC stuff, some old stuff. Like, look at the Penguin here. Look how old that is. I used to have that. Then we had Joker from The Dark Knight, and I believe that was Mattel that made that there. They even had some Arkham City or Arkham Asylum figures from DC Collectibles. Like, you can almost find anything in this store. Then over here we get to the McFarlane Toys DC line. So they were definitely loaded with McFarlane's DC figures. They had Deadman, a bunch of Robin, Superman, Wonder Woman, just a ton of different stuff here, as you can see. A bunch of different Batmans, because Tom McFarlane loves making 20 different versions of Batmans in about a month. But yeah, the Deadman, I did want to get this when it was first announced, but there I was like, nah. And then over here we have Transformers. I know there's a lot of Transformers collectors out there, old and new, Jurassic Park stuff. What do we got here? Some more Transformers stuff mixed in with like random Marvel stuff as well, as you can see there. But yeah, lots of Transformers figures as well in this store. It's like a candy shop for us figure collectors. And then continuing on, they had a bunch of wrestling figures, used and new, as you could see here. McFoley, Undertaker, some belts and stuff. They had even the older wrestling figures. You get a peek right here. We'll take a look at them in a second. Because I noticed they had the Men in Black Alien. I'm like, what the hell? I don't even remember that they made that. But I used to have the Men in Black figures. Over here, you could see more wrestling figures. I think that was when I forgot what line that was. Probably Jax, I believe. But here's all the older stuff, like the rubber ones that didn't really move. Then the older ones that had the action features, just a random Sacco. These are really old stuff here. There was the owner helping a customer, so I had to get out the way. Here's some more wrestling stuff. Like I said, they had AEW, WWE, and I believe they had like the older WCW. Here's the old WWW. I think there was another Sabretooth Colossus, another Archangel Storm. And then we have individual packaged used items here. And pretty much DC stuff, as you can see. This is the DC side. Over here we have the packaged old school Spider-Man stuff, the newer stuff, the old Ghost Rider stuff, more new Spider-Man. And look at all the Funko Pops. They had more on the other side of these shelves as well. But it goes all the way down of just Funko Pops. So if you collect Funko Pops, definitely hit the store up. But here's the newer Marvel Legends, as you can see. So we got a Sabretooth, Lady Deathstrike, a Carnage, just pretty much all the newer items. Spider-Man down there. I believe Venom was there from the movie. There's a Wolverine or Weapon X. That is Time Warp Toys and Collectibles here on Long Island in New York. The address did pop up earlier. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I did grab a couple things, but I'm not showing them off. It's such a long video. I don't want to keep making it even longer. But thanks for watching, and don't forget, I will catch you on the next episode of Daredevil 19, and I will also see you guys later.